Hey, what's up? It's Jack. I got Wi-Fi, as the channel name says. And before I get into this video, I'm gonna make a really quick disclaimer. Really quick.
Disclaimer. All actions presented in this video were done without malicious intent. No accounts were accessed, and no passwords were logged.
Bevolo got that sauce.
Alright, hopefully now that that's out of the way, I won't get sued or have legal action done against me. Please don't. But yeah, I'm a senior, and with that, earlier this year I was trying to think of a senior prank. And for whatever reason, the only good senior prank I could come up with was hacking the school. Now, it wasn't going to be anything super malicious. The idea I had in mind was to spam everyone's accounts with some kind of fake virus that would spam their desktops with memes or something stupid like that. I didn't go through with it because I was warned against the legal ramifications that could have came with it, even if my intent wasn't super malicious. But I did have most of the plan done already, and I'm gonna show you guys like how far I got. And it's probably like scary how far I got. So to be able to get into everyone's accounts, I would literally need a list of like every single person enrolled into school. So I asked the teacher if there was any public documentation of the enrollment of everyone in the school. And you know what the teacher told me? She said no, I couldn't access that. She said I couldn't access that. I took that as a challenge, even though I was probably gonna do it anyways. And I started thinking, how could I possibly get a list of every kid enrolled into school? That's when I remembered something. My school, and probably most schools out there, have some sort of custom domain set, not just for a website, but also for emails. So every student can have a student email. It's usually like first name, last name, at insert your school here, .net or .com. And they store every student's email within that custom domain. And that's why whenever you're on a school email, you can go to compose an email, and when you start typing out a name, a list of a whole bunch of people that also have the same extension will appear. So I realized if I could just cycle through this, I could get a list of every single student enrolled just from the email things they have set up. So I started searching around Gmail a little bit, seeing what I could do and how I could go about it. And then it turned out to be a lot easier than I initially thought it was going to be. There's actually a Gmail directories type thing for your contacts, and the school directory was right there in plain sight. Upon clicking that, there was a list of every single email that exists, not just for students, but for every single person enrolled in the school system here in this directory. Literally everyone. Now, I mean, it's cool and all that I have it, but I can't really do much with it because this is on Google Contacts. And it's not like I could just parse through the HTML data because all of this is loaded as you scroll through. It's loaded in real time, so it doesn't exist in the source code, obviously. But I did see that every single listing had a very specific tag in the HTML data. So what I made was my own little custom web browser that allows me to log in. It redirects me straight to that directory with everyone, and it scrolls through. And as everyone's name and everything is loading, it parses through the HTML data looking for that specific tag within everyone's name listing. And using that tag, it gets their first name and last name from their listing and adds it to a database. Upon finally parsing through the whole directory, I think I was left with around over 8,000 listings, which sounds like a lot. And there's a reason it's a lot, which I'll cover in a little bit. But I mean, that's great. I have everyone's first and last names. And literally the logins for everything at the school, including our school emails, is always first name, last name. So all I gotta do is make everything lowercase and get rid of the space between the first and last name, and bam, I have everyone's usernames. There was also some weird secret accounts listed, like some called administrator, and it looks like there's some weird testing accounts. I don't know what's up with those, but I mean, it's kind of cool to see that they exist. So the next step here would be to get everyone's passwords, which normally would be really hard and time consuming. Actually, on my old channel, I made a video demonstrating a certain concept for cracking passwords, which involves generating every single possible password automatically using like a bot or something. But the thing is the longer the password, the more time it takes, and it doesn't really matter about how complicated it is, just how long the password is. And you also have to be able to know how long the password is. So, assuming passwords for the school are typically like at least around 8 to 9 digits. I did have a formula that allows you to calculate about how long it will take to sort of generate all possible passwords for that character length he did. And running it through the equation, if they left the passwords normal, around 8 or 9 digits, and I had to generate every single possible password, it would probably take me around 2,600, and you know what, let's do this in years. Let's do this in years. Okay, a little shorter of a number. It would take me about 7,141,971 years to generate all possible passwords per person. Now, this probably has a lot to do with the fact that I didn't really perfect the algorithm I had, and also I don't have the most powerful computer, so it would have been pretty hard for me to crack passwords if they were normal passwords that no one could simply just guess. But you know what the school did for me? Well, okay, they didn't do it for me, but I mean, it helps me a lot. For whatever reason, I think it was either this year or last year, my school made the choice to have everyone's passwords be their birthdays. And it's not like only the students know this. If you go to the school's website, you can actually find this out without logging in or being a student or teacher or anything. This is literally public information. There's literally a docs file that you can go to, and it shows you the structure of the password, which is not good at all. So knowing that everyone's passwords is literally going to be their birthdays, I made an algorithm that generates all possible passwords between someone born in 2000 to 2007. 7 years worth of possible passwords, and it literally only takes 2 milliseconds per person to generate all possible passwords. Now, the final step in this would be actually testing every single possible password, which means I would have to know how the school goes about authenticating each login. And that's where I sort of hit a roadblock because I don't know. There's a lot of older methods that require using a URL, which you would pass through some parameters like username equals and password equals, but that's really outdated because of people that would do things like what I'm doing now, and they're probably actually using some kind of script now. I've tested a lot of different ways. None of them worked. And then this is whenever I was met with the
bruh, you'll get in legal trouble, don't do it.
So, as far as I'm concerned, the project has come to a halt, and I'm done with it because it turns out I could get in a lot more legal trouble than I initially expected, and I don't want to do that. But hopefully like someone from my school will see this, like some sort of staff or entity that has control over this stuff, and they'll see how vulnerable their stuff is and fix it. Just imagine if someone with like actual malicious attempt was in my place right now. Like, that would not be good for the school or students or anything, because if someone can get into your account, they can start messing with a lot of stuff, which isn't good. I mean, all I was gonna do was add literally a bunch of memes to everyone's desktop, but okay. But I mean, it would have been a cool senior prank, but I'm gonna have to come up with something else that won't get me sued or anything like that. I thought the process was really interesting, and that's why I went ahead and shared it. For people that want to say I was hacking, that's really just clickbait. Really, there was no hacking involved in this. It was really just me restructuring data that's literally already public, except the listings in the directory. You have to be an actual student or teacher, but I mean, if you're a student or teacher, then it's public to you. If you want a video of me actually hacking anything, which I still wouldn't call it that, I do have a video on my old channel where I ran a fake virus on a teacher's smartboard and got some pretty cool reactions. No damage done because it was a fake virus. I just wanted that reaction. I better not get in trouble for this video. That wouldn't be fun.
Bevolo got that sauce.